it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
The last thing that we saw from the trailers, like the last couple of trailers, is that Captain America brought up something a little bit pivotal, was the fact that you're like, you know your teams and you know your missions. So they're going to split up. Ultimately, they're going to split up in the fact that, what I think is that through the quantum tunnels, they're going to split up into these teams and go back into the events of all the
different movies.
All the different movies.
Yeah, because you see
the
more,
major
you see
battles
more,
that
you
we've
see
seen.
more ag, them leaving more
Absolutely.
ag. Yeah, like I said about that, like, is it going to affect that little bit of that? Just little things like that.
Yeah.
Like Loki can't go back to Asgard with Thor when they, at the end of Avengers when he twists the Tesseract and the thing and they go back. Now does Loki join Thanos there?
Yeah,
because he can't go back to Asgard and he's not going to get locked up. Does I mean, there's so much more you could do with it.
Yeah.
Where does Ronan go from there if he doesn't even get close to that stone?
But see, when you cause like a ultimate butterfly effect in the fact that, if you go back in time and makes one small little change, you affect everything. This is where I think we're going to see the next phase of characters that are going to happen.
That's where I think
the
X-Men are going to come in and everything else.
Yeah. And even the fact that we didn't see the destruction of Xandar. Now, of course, the destruction of Xandar leads to the impending arrival of Nova.
Yeah.
So Roman Day, which was John C. Reilly's character, is the last of his planet, kind of like the Green Lantern story.
Of course.
That's basically exactly what it
He's
is.
the last of his planet. He's shipped to Earth and he passes his powers, because what happens to the Nova Corps is that pretty much in all of the Nova Corps, they're all separate beings with all powers. But the second that one dies, everybody gets stronger.
Every time.
Every time
It's like
somebody
that movie
dies,
Jet the One with Jet Li.
Yeah.
So every time a Nova Corps member dies,
the
next
more power
remaining
spreads.
becomes stronger. So him being the last of his kind, and he's dying,
And that's where he gets
his power from, and he passes it on to Richard Rider.
That's right.
So ultimately, I feel like that butterfly effect will happen to the point where some things will start to happen to where the next phase can go into these next set of superheroes that'll happen in the future.
I would love to see that Nova Spider-Man type like they do in the cartoons and all that. I mean,
It's a good look.
I would die.
It's a good look.
And then now here's another thing, like you said about Xandar. We hear about it from Thor. He just destroyed Xandar. That's how he got the Power Stone.
Right.
I've been reading and going crazy, just digging into every little thing that these guys said about. They think that Iron Man and them fight on Xandar.
Oh yeah.
And that's how he knows Stark when he comes down to Titan. And he's like, "Do you know me?" He said, "You know me?" And he knows them from fighting them. And that's why he gives Captain America that look.
You're talking. Yeah. Okay.
It's already been, like he said before.
That's it. That's
the
a good
time the loop has been.
I can see that.
Right.
And then like when Cap he hits and Cap holds his shit, he's looking at Cap like we fought before.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real good theory.
Right.
I
So that
makes
is
a lot of sense.
So we might be seeing
I'm pretty sure we're going to see what happened on Xandar in this movie. So
I
believe
so.
Yeah, I believe so
100%.
too. I
Because
mean,
we have to.
That was the only obtaining of a
stone that we didn't see. And we didn't. Yeah, we just didn't see any. He hasn't.
There was no clue as to the fact of how he obtained
until you
it.
hear Thor say he destroyed Xandar. But you already picked that up because you knew where the stone was to begin with.
right.
If you're paying attention to these movies.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, what are our final predictions for this movie?
You want to go first?
Who's dying? Let's
Cap.
say that. All right, just Cap.
I think
and we're talking permanent deaths.
permanent deaths. I think Cap is taking the plunge.
Okay.
On Vormir to get this Mind Stone.
Oh yeah, you and this Vormir.
Why not? Right in front of Red Skull. I think he does. I think that's just makes it even more like dramatic.
I don't think he's there anymore.
If they're going back in time, then he is there.
That would
if they're going back in time.
This is correct. If he's going back in time,
back in time, he is still
sacrificing
on
himself to
And he
get the
sacrificed
Soul Stone.
To get the Soul Stone.
Okay.
Him and Tony finally make up right there on that edge.
Right.
Like they're finally like at the point. I mean, they've made up obviously before a little bit, but I'm
See, I
just
don't think Cap could survive a fall like that. I don't know.
So Gamora's genetically engineered too, so she
Right.
couldn't survive a fall like that.
I mean,
What the
so
hell?
She
if
on
he
her head though.
he ain't gonna land on his fucking feet
Then he jumps out of airplanes without no parachute.
in the goddamn
It's true.
ocean.
It's
It
true.
was in the ocean,
It was in the ocean. It wasn't on land.
but still a long way down.
Who's your permanent death?
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
Hulk
The
has
Hulk.
never even died in comics.
So
Wait,
listen to this.
The Hulk
Listen
is
to
in
this.
the Hulk is in Bruce Banner and the Hulk, or just the Hulk?
I think the whole Hulk and Bruce Banner. So listen, the only reason I'm saying this is because it's the death that nobody else would expect. Like
Okay.
people expect
Yeah, because he's never died in
exactly,
the comic.
Never- and never even,
you
like-
have to have something different that wasn't in the comics. That hasn't been on a TV show. That hasn't been in a movie. Like you have to hit us with something crazy. And the Hulk.
I'm intrigued.
because look at the Hulk's arc, right? From
I'm s-
this is like the third movie in his arc. Like he has like a side movie between
the
Thor
fourth-
Ragnarok.
this is the fourth
Infinity
movie in his
War.
arc.
No. The arc is Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War.
Oh, you're saying these
and-
three movies that his
and-
his
and-
own
and
trilogy
Endgame.
because
Yeah,
they can't.
This is what
'cause they
Kevin
can't do it
Feige
solo.
has said, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is his arc, and at this point, this is pretty much the end. Like he's gonna merge. This is where your Professor Hulk theory comes into play because this is where he merges Bruce Banner, Hulk. They merge together. He's smart and he can fight now. And he might wield the gauntlet. He might die.
Well, we all
Like, I'm
remember
just-
what happens in the comic when he wields the gauntlet.
Like-
Thanos' gauntlet. His arm fucking blows off.
Yeah, but I think he might die because nobody expects him to die. Everybody expects Captain America to die. Everybody expects Iron Man to die. I think Iron Man retires. I think Cap goes back in time and does that dance with Peggy. I think they do the dance. I think he goes back and does the
I
dance.
would love to see
and he
that.
stays in that time.
I'd love to see that.
Like, because honestly, you don't need. It's not necessary for all those characters to die. Now, granted, we're going to get somebody that's going to die, but it's not necessary. So I don't think everybody's like, oh, Cap's gone. Cap's gone. No, he might go back in time, get that dance.
Nice.
Iron Man retires. Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye dies too.
I think Hawkeye goes out in a rage.
You think
I think he
Hawkeye goes
died.
out?
Hawkeye's going to go out in a rage
Now-
because of his family.
Yeah, I think he dies.
Now, is that the opening scene of the movie? Not him dying,
Yeah.
but them dusting?
Yeah,
The family dusting?
I think
you're-
I think the family
you
dusting,
see- you
but the
s-
thing is his ultimate demise and his personality that's going to change.
When you
and
see
everything.
him in the beginning, you see he's still got the ankle bracelet on.
Yeah.
So and his daughter had to shoot
Yeah.
that bow and arrow. So you know that's right before the snap's probably happening, and then his
Yeah.
family goes, and
So-
then Ronin. So how long between that opening scene and
Yeah.
that does he turn
Like,
into
look,
Ronin? Is the
from
question.
from what we know,
It's that's
the
that's more time,
the
so.
trailers have told us that basically the Russos, even as blindly as they told us that the trailers were actually are, they said that we've only shown you probably 15 to 30 minutes.
15 to 30 minutes. And they also said too, there's a bunch of fake shit going
Yeah.
through this whole thing.
Basically,
You know,
just
they
like
could-
last time.
They could be totally
Just like
totally
Infinity
bogus.
War,
All right.
a full okie doke.
Yeah.
So I got Hawkeye. I got the Hulk. Who you got?
I got Hawkeye, and that is it.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all I got. I got
All right.
Hawkeye going out because
All
every
right.
single action movie that I've ever watched, the person that has the most rage in the fact that they're going to like try and redeem themselves in the honor of their family goes out in like a blaze of glory.
And I don't think there's anything to do. There's nothing more you can do to his arc, to his story.
Nothing.
I think,
Now, here's-
I
there's
think
nothing
this is
else.
it.
Okay,
I
okay.
think
Now
this is
pretty
now-
much it.
But to counteract that one point of both of you,
okay.
we've heard that there is a show getting made on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
about Hawkeye.
Yeah, but that can
be
but
at any
Hawkeye
time
and Kate,
period.
but that
That's
could be-
gonna-
but that it's Hawkeye and Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
So that usually happens after the fact. I'm not arguing it. I like it.
I'm
Okay.
not- I'm not-
All
so
right,
you-
before
you
we
probably
wrap
right.
this whole thing up,
Okay.
I got one. Give me one or two crazy theories that you have that you don't think might happen, but you think will happen. Like I'll start.
Okay.
I think one, like I've told you before, they will make their own gauntlet,
Okay.
and someone will
Yeah.
wield it of the two, and then two, Cap will wield Mjolnir
Okay.
at one point
All right.
to fight Thanos and become worthy because they're back in time, and he doesn't know that Bucky killed Tony's dad yet.
Right.
And that's why he can't lift that's why he can't lift Mjolnir in Age of Ultron because he knows
He already found out when
that
the
Bucky
files
killed,
came out. When
and
the
he
files
couldn't
came out.
and he never told Tony, so that's why he's
because
not
Winter
worthy.
Soldier was before. Okay, that makes sense. What you got?
I believe. Well, at the end, the stones will then separate. So you'll see all the stones as we've seen them through the past 10 years. They were all found in different sorts of places and times and everything like that. But I got a feeling that ultimately the stones are going to be kept. Now, this led to a comic book series when the stones were, of course, separated, called the Illuminati.
Right.
The Illuminati consisted of
Doctor Strange,
Doctor
Black
Strange,
Bolt.
Professor X,
Black Bolt, Neymar,
X,
Professor
Iron
X,
Man.
Iron Man,
Black Panther.
and Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wait, Black Panther was
Black
part of it.
Panther.
He
Black
came on
Panther
the-
took over for Neymar,
For Neymar. He
later
did,
on.
yeah, he later
But
on.
the thing is, you could substitute Neymar with
Black
Black,
Panther.
with Black Panther,
And I think
and
Hank
you could
McCoy-
substitute Black Bolt
right.
with Namor.
with
Right.
Neymar.
Coming
in
But the
or
thing
whoever.
is, Neymar, of course, is a universal property. But the thing is, I feel like
he's
they're
like-
going
it's
to
the
they're
same
going to
thing as
end
the
up
Hulk. They
It's
can
the same
use
thing
him
as
in
Hulk.
other
they're going to
movies, but
give
not
a
solo.
gem to somebody who has complete ownership of it, that they do not be combined anymore.
Right.
And how does that happen? Because ultimately, I feel like the MCU is just going to go forth, and these stones are going to just end up being the stories.
Constantly going
Constantly
through.
going
We have
through.
Infinity Watch. We have all those other ones going
Everything.
through the thing.
All right.
Yeah, they will
It's gonna
play a
happen.
big part through.
So we got something like the Illuminati at the end.
Absolutely,
I would love
All
that.
right. So I guess I'll wrap it up, and I'll just say that I think after they finally defeat Thanos, right? They're gonna have to deal with another enemy that is larger than what Thanos is, right?
I think I know what you're about to say.
Like physically.
Well, I mean, just more powerful. Like they have to deal with a bigger enemy at this time. So I don't know who that enemy is because we just got the Fox characters back. So I don't know if you could use Kang the Conqueror or if you could use
Galactus.
Galactus and
See, that's what I feel like an
so,
end credit scene would
but
be.
you wouldn't.
if
Yeah,
anything.
that would be an end credit scene.
I
But
feel
they
like
have
we
to
could
go up
see-
against somebody else. But after the movie's over, it's pretty much I think where Spider-Man Far From Home takes place is basically
Minutes.
him. No, I'm talking about like it goes back to him being on the bus going to the field trip.
Correct.
That's where
They
I
say it
think-
takes place minutes after
Yeah, and I
Endgame.
think everything
Yeah.
goes
His
back.
story
Everything
takes-
gets reset.
Everything gets
so
reset.
everything that happened, like with Spider-Man being on Titan, like he's not going to remember that. Like I think
Okay.
everything just goes to play.
Okay.
So that's
Very
just
good.
me.
I like that.
So there you guys have it. I feel as though we've covered a lot of topics to here as far as the
Seems like
final
we got a lot
predictions for
done quick.
Endgame. Look, stay tuned for us, Agents and Nerds. We're going to have a ton of content for you guys every week. And look for us, I would say once a week, everybody.
Yeah,
At least once a week.
Yeah, the main
Once a
show
week.
once a week, and then we'll have
And we'll be pumping this out on Instagram, YouTube, as well as Facebook. And check us out on our Facebook group, which is the Agents and Nerds
Agents
Facebook.
Facebook
Yeah.
group. Yep.
very active community.
Very active.
so
Got a ton of people going back forth, side to side, just
Please
sharing
join.
anything that they can on that as well. And
and
it's
most
just-
importantly, like, subscribe, comment on our video. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your predictions. We want to hear your theories. That's let's get the conversation started. Let's
And take heed to the big brothers upstairs, the party nerds. Always a shout out to those guys.
100%.
All right. So
Mothership.
thank you guys. Look forward to the next show. Party nerds go.
Excelsior.